like a beacon. And they're all set. Racing as well, Tap the Go-Go, first to bounce out of the gates. Distant Trilogy and also Hay and Lad with early speed, and coming across now to join those shortly after the start is Buctorio. Massamac settled in behind those, and then came Memoirs of Paris and Altamont. Jupiter Rising goes back. Storm Trade then came at the head of the others, My Kiwi Dream, who's towards the tail. Around the outside is St. Eligius, and back last of all is Little Miss Charmer. And so at the 950 they travel, and Hay and Lad took up the role of leader by 1 to Buctorio. Tap the Go-Go now on the inside third, and 3 deep around them. There goes Massamac. The grey Distant Trilogy getting a handy run just off the speed, and then the other of the greys, Jupiter Rising, around it. Over on the fence to Memoirs of Paris and 3/4 Altamont, St. Eligius. Further back behind those, then coming to the corner is My Kiwi Dream, who's back near enough to last, coming up towards the bend, being followed then over on the outside next of all. At the head of the others nearing the corner is Storm Trade, and back last is Little Miss Charm. But as they come around the corner, Hay and Lad joined by Buctorio and Massamac. Jupiter Rising going up there. Distant Trilogy out to the middle, and then Tap the Go-Go, who's got right up towards the rail at the 200. Buctorio lead on the inside. Hay and Lad down the outside. Jupiter Rising, Distant Trilogy. It's Buctorio though from Jupiter Rising, who now levels up. Jupiter Rising, Buctorio, and Buctorio kicked and did enough, I think. Buctorio narrowly in the bob of the heads from Jupiter Rising. Distant Trilogy behind those. Tap the Go-Go close up. Hay and Lad, Massamac, and then St. Eligius and Altamont both wide out. They were followed then by My Kiwi Dream, Storm Trade, and the last couple home, Memoirs of Paris and also Little Miss Charm. Waiting for the numbers here after the last to come into the semaphore. 1:27.22 the time. And on the line it'll be Buctorio, Paul Harvey for trainer Robin Lockwood. That has just prevailed from Jupiter Rising, Distant Trilogy and Tap the Go-Go. Buctorio, form probably is better than it reads numerically in most instances in its last 4 or 5 runs. The Oratorio gelding was able to camp right on the speed today. He's normally a back marker. Today the Pont have had him up there outside the leader, and he hit the front at the top of the straight. Jupiter Rising in pursuit, did have to cover ground there mid-race, Jupiter Rising, and Distant Trilogy got shunted deep on the corner. It's 11, 3, 1 and 12, a short head 1 length margins after the running of the last event of the day. Buctorio at 10, 10 and 250. Number 11 getting home to score for Iko O'Neill. G. Pierce, W. Mrs. P. and L.J. Carroll, P. Hutchinson, D. Payne, J. Carlson and I. Cheng Key. Also John and K. Apostolos, also L. and Mrs. A. Rolls, R. Jones and G. O'Neill. Paul Harvey aboard the winner. Getting home to score by a short head to the last from Jupiter Rising, number 3. Northern Meteor, Silver Seam gelding, Neville Parnham with Chris Parnham aboard. And third, Distant Trilogy, number 1 by Casino Prince out of Grass Patch Girl, Tommy Widdowson and Andrew Castle. Well, it's a nice change of luck too. Not that Robbie Lockwood has too many runners in the metropolitan area. Only a small little yard, and she's down there now, and a great result there for them. And also the owners have stuck with Buctorio, Gareth.
Yeah, it was a great performance by Buctorio, and Robin Lockwood joins us here. Robin, that was a really good effort, tough effort on pace, and had a couple of closing finishes like a Jupiter Rising, but yours was too strong today.
Yeah, all worked out perfect.
Were you expecting that?
Yeah, I thought he'd run a good race.
Yeah. Been happy with his previous form?
Yeah, it's been a bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
Last start was a good run.
And what's the key to him today? Is it being on that pace and out of trouble like we saw with Harvey aboard?
Yeah, he rode him very well.
Yeah. Good to get a winner anyway on a Wednesday afternoon.
Good.
Well done, Robin.
Thank you.
There's Robin Lockwood there. Thank you to Darren McCauley as well for his help as he takes his binoculars down from the stand. And Brittany Taylor, Jupiter Rising was good, and so was Distant Trilogy, but the winner was just too tough in the end.
Yeah, I thought it was a good ride by Chris Parnham. We heard from Neville before that you just don't want to present this horse too early, and unfortunately Distant Trilogy just sort of pushed him out on the corner, which made him present just that bit early, but Chris did well to sort of push him back in, and unfortunately just wasn't up. But it was a super run by Jupiter Rising, and certainly the money that came for it was understandable, but unfortunately just couldn't quite get there. Another stride and would have, but it was Bucktorio who was the victor.
Yeah, there was a good effort by Paul Harvey there, and Jupiter Rising, and it seemed at Distant Trilogy around that bend about the 400-metre mark. Young Castle wanted to come out and punt and put him back in that pocket, but Harvey was off and gone on Bucktorio, and he's catching up now with Brittany Taylor.
Congratulations on the win. What was the plan going into the race? Previously, we've seen this horse go back from gate 8. Was it just a case of jumping so well?
Yeah. Robin said to have him where he was happy. He popped the gates and really travelled strong outside the leader. Gave me plenty of confidence in running.
Did Robin give you much confidence coming into the race?
She did say he was a little unlucky last start, so she was pretty upbeat.
Were you always confident that you were going to win the race? Chris Parnham was coming pretty quickly on Jupiter Rising to your outside.
Yeah, I always thought he'd have something to offer because he travelled nice and strong in running and just sort of crept into the race at the right time. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.